Hey everyone, I'm Amy Patee. Welcome to my YouTube channel and welcome to day one of the Love Thyself yoga journey. In today's practice, we're going to be kind of laying the foundation for our week together. We're going to be setting a healing intention in the beginning that is your personal healing, love-based intention for this week-long journey together. So you'll have a chance to set that for yourself, and then you can carry it with you throughout all of the practices. And then we're also going to have a very specific theme for today's practice to, again, lay the foundation for our week together. And the theme is self-worth, cultivating self-worth on a really deep cellular level in the body, clearing out anything that keeps us from feeling our innate self-worth so that we can truly feel worthy of being loved. We can receive our own love, the love that we are. We can receive love from others, love from the universe. So I'm just super excited to dive into this journey with you and to move through today's practice with you. So roll out your mat. You might want to have a firm blanket to sit on as well. And let's get started. All right, we're going to start today's practice in a seated meditative posture. So this is where your blanket could come in handy. You might want to fold it up and slide it underneath your hips. And then just crossing your ankles and bring your hands to rest. You could rest them over your knees or your thighs or even just right into your lap. Bring your eyes to close. Take a nice deep breath, breathing in and breathing out. Just beginning to center yourself for today's practice. Deep breath in through the nose. Try sighing it out here. Exhale. Just beginning to let go of whatever you've been doing up until this point. Let go of what's to come. Take one more deep breath. Breathe in through the nose. And as you exhale, just feel your body softening. Yeah, and so with those eyes closed, we're starting to shift our attention internal. You might even want to slightly drop your chin, like you're lengthening through the back of your neck, lifting up through the base of your skull. And as your attention begins to move inward, I want you to say hello to your body today. Yeah, just greet your body. And just breathe that in. Notice how it feels to say hello to your body. How does your body respond? And then go to your heart and just kind of feel around inside your rib cage, inside your chest. And seek out your heart and say hello to your heart today. Notice how the heart responds to that attention. Yeah, breathe in to your heart. Good, and then we're just going to go just a little bit deeper, and I want you to say hello to your deep inner self. And maybe you're scratching your head right now and thinking, well, who is my deep inner self? What is my deep inner self? Just humor me here. Just go inside yourself, feel around, look around, and say hello. This is the part of you that exists on the inside. It's the deepest, most authentic core part of you. Maybe you've never said hello to this part of yourself. Right? Well, this is your opportunity. Say hello and just see how it feels to say hello to who you are on the inside. Nice deep breath. Breathe in, receiving that, and breathe out. Good. And then take your hands and rest your hands over your chest here, over your heart area. We'll be obviously tuning in day after day to this part of our body that holds love. And as you're holding your own heart here and really letting the hands, the warmth of the hands kind of enliven this part of your body, I want you to set a healing intention for yourself for today and for this entire journey, this 7-day Love Thyself journey. What part of you needs healing? What part of your life needs healing? Set an intention so that all of your practices this week really support the realization of that intention, the manifestation of that intention. An intention can be a wish, a prayer, a request, a desire. It can also be a very firm statement, maybe a statement that starts with the 2 words, I am. I am lovable. I am open to aligning with my ideal career or my soulmate, right? So set this intention for yourself. Say it out loud or silently to yourself, and then breathe it in. And I want you to breathe it right into your heart space and give it over to your heart. Let your heart hold it for you throughout this journey. Let's take one more nice deep breath here, breathing in and out. And then when you're ready, you just let your hands release, maybe drop your chin a little bit more, slowly blinking those eyes open. Beautiful. And we're going to start moving our body. So I'm going to have you come over onto your hands and knees, and we're going to stretch back through child's pose, starting there. So you can set your blanket aside if you were using one, and then settling your hips back and down, resting your forehead down onto your mat, taking child's pose. And once you're here in your child's pose, I want you to start to breathe deep into your belly. Let your belly fill up and expand out towards your legs. Relaxing through the low back, through the spine as you exhale. And maybe shifting the body a little side to side, letting your hips shift a little. Maybe your forehead rocks a little side to side on your mat. And as your body is shifting a little side to side, let the movements feel weighted. So I want your body to feel heavy on your mat here. I want you to feel like you can lean into the floor a little, relax into the floor. So today's practice is all about connecting to our inherent self-worth. So we're going to be working a lot with being grounded, opening up the energy in the feet, in the legs, in the hips, in the pelvis, in the spine. In yoga, the energy of self-worth really lives in the root chakra of the body, the energetic center of the body that exists around the tailbone area, the base of the spine. So we'll just be opening up that area today, letting the authentic energy of self-worth emerge. So stay here in your child's pose. Take one more nice deep breath in, beginning to breathe maybe into the tailbone area. Exhale out, body is heavy. And then on your next breath in, you can rise up, coming onto your hands and knees. And we'll start to wake up the whole spine here. So spread your fingers out nice and wide. Knees right underneath your hips. Press down into your hands and let your chest open here. Slide your shoulders down away from your ears. Lift your chin. Lift your tail. Stretching out your back. And then on your next breath out, curl your spine, round your back, chin to the chest here. Squeeze the belly as you push the floor away. You can also try pushing down through your shin bones, through the tops of your feet. Good. Inhale, arch your spine. Open the chest, squeeze the muscles along your back. Exhale, round your back. Pushing down through all parts of your body in contact with the floor. Inhale, arch through the spine. This time I want you to tuck your toes, beginning to wake up your feet. Exhale, point your toes, push down through the tops of your feet as you round your back. Okay, so I want you to keep that movement happening here through the ankles and feet. Inhale, flex the toes, tuck them under, arch the back. Breathe out, point your toes, let them press down into your mat, round your spine. Let's take about 3 more rounds, moving at your own pace with your breath. Really working through those ankles and feet, starting to inspire some energy down in the toes. Take your time. You can always take extra breaths with these movements if you need to. Good. Let's do one more inhale. And then breathe out, round your spine. Good. And then inhale, come back through a nice long spine. And I want you to sit right back onto your shin bones here. And if you can, kind of lean back just a little bit and see if you can get your fingertips to the floor. And then lift up your right knee. And you might just feel a really gentle stretch into the top of the foot, maybe into the ankle. Take a breath in. Good. Exhale, release that right knee. And then scoop up your left. And just be gentle here. Breathe in and out. Relax your jaw. Release the knee. If you can, try both knees, lift them up. And I'm even kind of rocking a little bit up and down. And again, you want to be gentle. You could even go side to side. And you might find you can't even lift your knees, and that's okay. So you're just working with wherever you're at. We're just, again, opening up the foundation of our body to access that self-worth energy. Good. And then release. And then I want you to come forward, and we're going to tuck the toes. And once the toes tuck here, you're gonna, if your toes are really on the tight side, you might wanna keep your hands on the floor and just push back a little bit to stretch those feet. And if you can, you're gonna come all the way back. So you're gonna be sitting up on your heels here, and then take the pinky toes. If you have short, stubby pinky toes like mine, take them and pull them forward a little bit and see if you can sit on your heels. This can sometimes get really intense. So at any point you can come forward or you can lift your hips up off your heels. But I promise your toes are not going to fall off. They're not going to break off. But just hang out here for a moment. Relax your tail down. Let your lower belly here release a little bit. And just feel the sensation in your feet. Take a deep breath. Breathe in. Try to relax your shoulders. Exhale. Good. Relax through the neck. One more deep breath in. Good. Breathe out. Finally, you get to release. Walk your hands forward. Now I'm going to have you tap your toes out pretty vigorously. So just tap, 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 tap. And you might feel even a little burst of energy kind of coming through as you start to tap those feet vigorously. Nice. Good. Now release your hips back again towards your heels. Walk your hands back. And now we're going to do just this little rollover, and it may or may not work for you, but you can give it a try. So you're going to lift your knees, and you're going to try to come up onto your, like the toes a little bit, and roll over your toes onto your mat. So I'm using my hands quite a bit for that. You might be like, what the heck? So you're on your shin bones, I've seen people actually do this without using their hands at all, but I definitely have to use my hands. So I push down, lift the knees, come up to the tops of the feet. Sometimes it's nice even to pause there, kind of crunching your toes a little bit, and then roll over your toes. So you're in a little squat now. And then your ankles, the backs of your ankles and calf muscles can open here. And if it feels okay, just rest right onto your thighs. Hang your head for a moment. Feel your calf muscles opening, your ankles opening. And you can kind of soften through your back, right? And your head can just hang forward. Good. And then when you're ready, look towards the front of your mat and let your legs stretch out straight, coming into a forward fold. Take your feet a little wider than hip distance apart and just hang your head forward and sway a little bit side to side. Your knees can be as bent as you need them to be, and let the swaying of your spine side to side feel really nice. And kind of just notice the shape of your legs today. Are they tight? Do they feel pretty open? Are they loving receiving this attention right now? Hopefully they are. And just lift your toes, spread your toes. Again, feel kind of the soles of your feet beginning to articulate with your mat. So as we work with the legs and the feet today, the hips, the pelvis, everything, right? As we kind of get the kinks out, the flow of energy through the body in such a way that we become flooded with worthiness. And that's a good thing. Good. On your next breath, I want you to lift your chest, look forward, turn your toes out. Make sure your feet, again, are wider than your hips here. Fingertips come to the floor. Bend both knees. They go out wide. So you're like in a little frog position. Push through the fingertips, lift your chest like you're doing a little arching of the back. Breathe in. And then press your heels down and curl the body forward. Exhale. So that again, 2 more times. Breathe in. Let your hips drop nice and low. Look up. Exhale, fold. One more time. Inhale, arch. Good. Look up. Exhale. Great. Then breathe and lengthen again. Heel toe your feet back in so you've got them about hip distance apart. And then let's come into down dog. So you can just walk your hands out on your mat. And once you're here in down dog, just begin to kind of pedal out your heels, wagging your tail a little bit, really warming up through the legs. Notice your breath. And breathe in deeply and breathe out completely. And relax your face, your jaw. Let the head be heavy. Good. And then maybe you take your left leg, stretch your left leg up, reach it up nice and high, bend your knee, opening up the left thigh here and the left hip. Circle out your left ankle. Make it some little pops and cracks as you circle the ankle out in both directions. And straighten your left knee and bend your knee a couple times. And then I want you to draw big circles with your left knee, as big as you can. So you're really circling out your hip joint. Let it feel good. See if it's sticky in there in that hip joint. Right, we want to clear out that stickiness. We want to clear the energy here so that all we're left with is our authentic self-worth energy instead of any unworthiness that sometimes gets stored in the body somehow. Okay, let's take one more breath. Exhale, I want you to step your left foot to the outside of your left hand. Swing that foot forward. So you're stepping right to the outside here. And then tap your right knee down. And you can just rest the top of your right foot to the floor and turn your left toes out just a little bit on your mat here. And you want this to feel pretty good. And then you can rock a little bit side to side to start. Keep your jaw relaxed. And we want the breath to have kind of a grounded effect here. So you're taking your time with your breath. You're breathing in and out slowly. You're breathing in and out in a grounded way, right? We want the body to feel really grounded and open today so that as we move into the rest of the practices, you can keep returning to this foundation, right, of being worthy of love. Good. Now, what I want you to do here is just kind of lift your hips, pull them back a little bit, and you can straighten out your left toes on your mat. And then you're going to pivot on your right knee and take the right toes off to the left side of your mat here. And you can tuck your toes, okay? So you can see how I can rock forward and then back, right? I want you to just give that a little try. All of these are really fluid movements because we're just clearing out the junk a little bit, getting the stickiness out of the joints. And then from here, you're going to walk your fingers towards the right corner of your mat. And you can tent your hands and really root down through those fingertips and then pull your hips back. Stretch out your spine, let your head hang. This should feel really good. And again, you can kind of sway your hips a little, side to side. Feel the muscles stretching around the joints. Let your head hang. Maybe, or rock your head a little side to side if the neck feels really tight, and take a deep breath in and out. One more deep breath in and out. Good, and then look towards your fingers, lift your chest, kind of walk your hands back, and then you're going to come back through your lunge. So you'll have to pivot, be gentle as you pivot on that right knee, and you're back here in your lunge position. And then lift up your right knee, tuck those right toes, lift up the knee, press into your right hand, take your left hand to your left thigh here, and just give yourself a little twist for the spine. You can gaze up. If you want to extend your left arm up, nice deep breath, breathing in, really push down through the right base of your thumb here to lift up out of the right shoulder. One more inhale. Good, exhale, release. Take that left hand down, step all the way back into your downward facing dog. And then just pause here in your down dog, maybe pedal out the feet again, and just kind of check in and notice how things feel. Take a grounded breath, breathing in, let your low belly expand. And exhale, release your spine. Let it soften into the body a little. Head is heavy. Okay, let's breathe in. Come to plank pose, upward push-up position. So if you need to, you can always drop your knees, but otherwise try holding here and letting the muscles fire up in the body. You're going to push your hands down and really feel that sense of pushing down, almost like your hands are descending down into the floor. Squeeze your thighs, tuck your tail towards the earth. Lift your belly in, lift through the back of your neck, lift through the back of your heart. Try to fill up that space right between your shoulder blades. And then pull back with your heels and feel your toes again on your mat. Yeah, feel your leg muscles turned on, bright. One more inhale. And we're going to flow through here. We're going to exhale, come all the way down. Squeeze your hands in, elbows in, come all the way down to your belly. Point your toes back, and then take a breath in, curling up. Little baby cobra here. Roll the shoulders back, hug your elbows in, and then feel your toes spreading as you push down through the tops of your feet. Engage your thighs, lift the kneecaps up off the floor. Grounded breath in, feel the low belly fill. You can stay with cobra, or if you'd like, you can just slide your hands back so the hands land halfway between shoulders and hips here. Palms press, elbows stretch straight, lift up. Press through the tops of your feet, lift your knees, look up, full up dog, and then back through down dog. Good. And then let's do round 2 here. So you're going to lift your right leg, stretch it up, bend your right knee, and begin to circle out your ankle, both directions. Breathing deeply as you do this. Then straighten your leg and bend the knee. Go back and forth a couple times. And then draw big circles with your right knee. Notice where it's sticky and start to loosen that up. Good, stretch the legs straight, breathe in, step to the outside of your right hand, exhale. Okay, do the best you can, get it way up there, and then drop your left knee. And take a moment here, you can kind of turn your right toes out, and then rock just a little bit side to side. If your left knee feels sensitive on your mat, right, you just roll the mat or put a blanket underneath your left knee. Totally fine. Good. Take one more nice breath here. Breathe in. And breathe out. And then you can walk your hands back a little bit. Take your right toes, turn them to face straight forward. And then again, you're going to pivot on that left knee this time and take your left toes towards the right side of your mat. And you can tuck those left toes. And then do this little shifting again, forward, back. Right. And try to feel like you're a little bit of a ninja here as you move forward and back, and really working through the hips. And so you want to access that kind of range of motion, and then begin to walk your hands out towards the left corner of your mat. Tense your fingers, which means you're just up on the little pads of your fingertips, lifting the palms of your hands. Pull back, so you're pulling away from the fingers, and let your head release. So you'll feel maybe a little traction here. And then think about maybe swaying your hips a little side to side, pulling back, shifting forward, or even just holding when you find your sweet spot, holding there. Let's take 3 more breaths. Relax your jaw. Notice your toes. Have you become unconscious of your feet? I want you to keep those lines of energy open down to your feet. So we're going to keep coming back to them. Then breathe deep. Take a grounded breath. Think about breathing towards your tailbone. Good. Breathing out. Good. Look forward and then lift your chest, lift your hands, walk them back, and then you can pivot and bring that left foot back behind you. And you're back here in your lunge. Lift up your left knee, press into that left hand, and take your right hand can come to your thigh, or you can reach it all the way up. Take a couple breaths here, breathing right into your spine. Rinse out your spine with this twist, and keep your left leg active. Try to lift the toes on both feet. Good. Exhale. Let's release. Take that right hand down. Step all the way back, coming into your down dog. Holding here in your down dog. Exhale out. Take breaks whenever you need to. If holding down dog gets really strenuous for you, you can drop to your knees, take child's pose. You can always do down dog also on your elbows. You can just drop down to your elbows if your wrists get tired. Option here to take a vinyasa again. Come through plank. Take a pause. Squeeze your leg muscles. I want you to keep your leg muscles turned on as you shift forward. Squeeze your arms and elbows and hands in, lowering through chaturanga. Breathing in, cobra or up dog. Spread your toes, press through the tops of your feet. Breathing out, downward facing dog. Good. Take your feet mat width apart. We're going to come into what I call turbo dog. So you're going to bend your knees, send your hips back. So your belly is coming towards your thighs. You might even touch your belly to your thighs. I want you to think of yourself like a little wind-up toy right now, like a little wind-up car that you pull back to gather energy to spring forward. And once you're back here with the knees deeply bent, keep your knees bent, pull your front lower ribs into the body slightly, relax around your ankles. Try to relax the muscles a bit through the legs and just let your bones support you here. Keep lifting those front lower ribs into the body gently so they're not falling out too much. And breathe towards your tailbone.
Breathing into the base of your spine, the root chakra. Exhale out anything standing in your way of remembering your inherent self-worth, knowing it in your body, knowing it in your heart, in your mind, knowing it with your whole self, so that you can claim it here on earth. You can stand and be worthy of love. Good. That one starts to get a little hard, right, in those shoulders. So go ahead and release. Walk your feet in. Drop your knees to the mat for a moment. Let's just take a child's pose. And if it feels good for you, wrap your arms back alongside the body. And just take a pause here. A few breaths. Let your shoulders release. Let your wrist release. Maybe that little shuffling from side to side might feel good here. One more deep breath in. Surrender into the earth. Exhale. Let yourself be held for a moment here by the earth. And then the arms coming back forward. Inhale. Rise back up. You're doing awesome. We're going to do one more little sequence here for the legs and hips. So come back through the hands and knees. Come back through your down dog. Lift your left leg. Take a breath in. And then exhale, stepping that left foot between your hands. Dropping your right foot to the floor, and we're going to come up into warrior one pose. So nice deep bend in your front knee and rising up. So I want you to feel some strength in the legs now. I want you to feel like you can really stand up, hold the weight of your body on your own two legs and feet. And you can take your arms up for a moment here, reaching through the fingers, and then really work this nice deep bend in your front knee. Lift your toes on the left foot. And see if you can keep them lifted at least for a little bit. They can relax down, but then come back up because I want you to be articulating through the feet here. So you could even try lifting the toes on your right foot, lifting the inner arch of your right foot, and strengthening into the muscles of the legs. Really press through the feet. Relax your shoulders down, and see if you can feel the tailbone dropping towards the floor, anchoring down towards the floor, which will help lift this lower belly up and in. And then take your hands to your hips here. And I want you to try to lift your left hip up and drop your right hip down. And then try lifting your right hip up and dropping your left hip down. And you might even be able to make this kind of like a stretchy movement. Go side to side. Good. Keep bending. Your leg muscles might start to get a little bit tired here. And I want that actually to happen because I want you to reach that point where other muscles start to turn on, right? And more importantly, you actually start to feel a little bit more what's happening through the body. Good. Let's take one more breath. Sweep the arms up. Good. And then breathe out. Go ahead and release. Take your hands down. Pick up your back heel. Breathe in, look forward. And then breathe out, step back. Find plank pose. Inhaling. Legs are strong. Exhaling, chaturanga. Inhaling, upward facing dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Good, let's do that on the right side. So lift your right leg up, take a big breath in. Exhale, step your right foot between your hands. Drop your left foot. Make sure your feet are about hip distance apart. So you could imagine two narrow railroad tracks on your mat, and you have a foot on each one of those. And then let your left toes turn a little bit more forward. Feel the left thigh rotating forward. Take a moment here and really get into your feet, get into your legs. Feel your front knee stacked over the center of your ankle joint. So there's a lot of weight coming down through the front center of your heel. You can add the arms here if you'd like. Breathe and reach up. Feel that left leg. Fire up the muscles of your left leg. See if you can squeeze even your glutes, your buttock muscles. Lift those left toes a little bit, inner arch lifting. Relax your jaw. You might have to sigh out. Good, and then take your hands down towards your hips here. Feel the tail dropping down. Sometimes I like to use my hands literally kind of directing the movement of the pelvis. So you're lifting up through the lower belly, releasing down through the tail, hands on the hips, and then try lifting your right hip up and then dropping your right hip down, side to side. And you can let it be kind of stretchy, like a stretchy movement. Keep bending into that front knee, stick with it. So your mind might start to say, come out, pull out. The muscles might say, I'm getting tired, can you come out? But what we're waiting for is a little deeper experience where you move kind of beyond that mental chatter and you start to extract something a little different from the muscles, from the bones, from the earth, from your root, right? Start to experience something a little deeper. One more breath. Let's breathe in. Good. And then exhale, release. Take those hands all the way down. Step back. You could rest here, otherwise find your plank. You try to feel your two hip bones squeezing in towards the center of your pelvis. Squeeze the muscles of the legs on. Activate your feet. Lift up out of the shoulders. Breathe in. Lower through chaturanga, keeping that strength in the legs. Inhale, up dog. Down dog. Exhale, pull back. Deep breath in and out. Awesome job. Come to sit on your mat. And I'm going to turn to face you all this way. All right. So you made it to the floor. Hope you're feeling amazing. So we're going to do a little bit more work to kind of blossom open our root chakra. So I'm going to have you bring the soles of your feet together. And if it's difficult for you to sit in this position, again, use a blanket, kind of wedge it underneath your hips to give yourself a little extra support. When you come to sit in this position, I want you to bring the soles of your feet together, but push them out a little ways away from your hips. So I know sometimes we do this pose called bound angle, Baddha Konasana, where the feet are really close to your hips. Walk them out. So if you look down, you've got a pretty nice big diamond shape between your legs. And then take a moment and just kind of take the fleshy muscles, and all the other good flesh back here, and just kind of pull it back. And I want you to feel your two sits bones, right? Those sits bones are kind of bony. We want to try to feel those on the floor here. And we're going to be doing some subtle movements. So do the best you can with this, and just know that your mind is powerful. So even if you're just visualizing something or thinking something, or using your mind to try to do something in the body before the body knows how to actually do it, it's still going to have an effect. It'll still work a little bit. So do the best you can. Grab hold of your shin bones. And let's just first start with some easy rolling of the spine. So bend your elbows and draw your heart forward and let your tail reach back. So the tailbone, the base of the spine, I want you to feel it kind of flying back right now. Lift up the chin, breathe in. And then imagine your tailbone tucking under towards the pubic bones, rock back around the spine. And just do that here. Breathe in, come forward. Breathe out, rock back. Do that a couple more times. I want you to really think of moving from your tailbone. When the tailbone moves forward, all the muscles through the pelvic floor are engaging slightly. It's like the tailbone's trying to touch the pubic bones at the front of the pelvis. And then the tailbone swings way back. Good. Do one more. Round out your spine. Exhale. Squeeze the tailbone towards your pubic bones. Try to feel those muscles through the pelvic floor contracting a little bit. And then come back through center. Great. And then I want you to, we're gonna think of letting the tail swing a little side to side. And try this on. So you could rock over to your left, right? And then we're gonna just sweep the torso forward and then over to the right You can think of your tail kind of swinging a little bit in that direction, and then come back through center. Good, try the other direction. So just rock. So the tail becomes like the rudder of the ship here, and we're trying to feel it kind of circle around. And again, this might be really subtle, and you might just have to visualize, oh, a rudder of a ship. Okay, it's down there directing me. All right, come back through center. Okay, now we're going to get even more subtle. So what I want you to do is take a breath in, and then as you exhale, you're going to draw your two sit bones, those two bones we felt on the floor. I want you to squeeze them towards each other. Imagine you're dragging them in towards each other, and just feel everything squeeze in, lift up towards your heart. Yep, squeeze, and then exhale, release those sit bones and feel everything release down. Right, try that once more. Squeeze in through the sit bones, pull up through the pelvic floor, up through the belly, up through the heart, lift tall. Supporting the whole spine here. Exhale, relax all the muscles that you just engaged and just release. Do one more thing. Okay, so I want you to try to feel your pubic bones, which are in the front of the pelvis, and the tailbone at the back, and you're going to squeeze everything in and up and down and release. Do this with your breath. So let's, again, pubic bones, tailbone, breathe and squeeze in and up. And breathe out, release. Good. Now, all of those areas that we just worked with, tailbone, pubic bones, sits bones, and these can be structures that we disconnect from and that we kind of numb out to. So again, just humor me. Just do the best you can if you can't actually feel these muscles contracting and these bones moving. Use your mind and imagination to influence the body here, okay? So we're going to inhale. I want you to think of drawing your pubic bones, tailbone, two sit bones all together. And squeeze up and in, and then exhale, release. And you could even add your legs here. So as you inhale, press your feet together and kind of squeeze your thighs in towards each other. And then squeeze the sits bones in, the pubic bone, tailbone, and everything squeeze, lift up. It's like you're lifting a golden egg up inside the body, and then exhale, slowly lower it down. Let the feet relax, let the legs relax, pelvic floor relax. So let's do it once more, okay? Breathe in, squeeze up, everything pressing in, feet pressing in, inner thighs squeezing towards each other, sit bones squeezing in towards each other, pubic bone, tailbone squeezing in towards each other, and lifting up, and then exhale, release. Let it all go. Good. Lift your knees. Gather them in. So I know that was kind of subtle work that maybe you were doing, and you might be like, what is going on? But we really are working with the energy of the body as well. And so hopefully we just got a little bit of more fluidity down there in the root chakra. So take a breath here, lift up, breathe out. Good. So now we're going to end our practice today. Well, not quite end it completely, but we're going to do one last pose, Pigeon Pose, which is so amazing for this whole area, and it's going to feel really good, I think, after the practice that we've done so far. So you can come back over onto your hands and knees and throw my hair back, get it out of the way here, and tuck your toes, lift your hips up. Take a big breath in through the nose and let it go through an open mouth. You might want to sigh like that as well. And then let's take the left leg up, open through the hip, and then exhale. Bring your left knee towards your left thumb, and your left foot will end up close to that right hip. And you're going to come up on those tented fingers again here and push down, lift up your chest, roll the shoulders back. Feel into your right leg. And in fact, what might be nice here is to tuck your right toes, squeeze the leg, and lift the thigh up if you can, up off the floor. And then slowly release that right thigh down and let the right leg begin to grow heavy on your mat. And then just walk your hands out and come down as far as you're comfortable. So maybe your head will rest on your mat. Maybe you'll just stay here on your forearms. Let's take about 10 deep breaths, just letting this part of your body begin to really relax and open up. I want you to try breathing deep deeper than you have throughout the practice. So breathe all the way down to the tailbone. Breathe all the way down into your hips. When you exhale, breathe out anything. You don't have to know what it consciously is. It's all about intention here. You're just breathing out anything that doesn't serve you. Stress, old emotions that you've stored up that maybe block you from feeling like you deserve love, you deserve happiness, you deserve health. Breathe out the resistance that maybe you have to self-love. I know that a lot of my journey has been just letting go of resistance and feeling this deep sense of worth so that I can take in the love that's available to me, because love truly is all around us and within us. So a lot of our journey is more about taking down the walls that we've built up and releasing those blockages and retraining ourselves in a way to take in this vibration of love that's always here within us, around us, waiting for us to take one more deep breath here. Try to feel again that pelvic floor releasing. Then when you're ready, you're going to just start to slowly walk your hands back, lift your chest up, tuck those right toes, lift your hips, pull back through your down dog. If you want to move through a vinyasa, you're welcome to do that. And then when you're ready, you're going to lift your right leg up, breathe in, draw that right knee to your right thumb. And you might want to start again with your left toes tucked here and just press down and lift up a little bit, maybe lifting that left thigh, rock around. Good. Nice big breath in. When you're ready, release that left leg back and down, and then just walk out onto your elbows. Maybe come all the way down, resting your forehead on your mat or on your hands if you'd like. Let the breath circulate down into the pelvis. If you breathe deep enough here, you're going to feel some movement in the hips. Maybe even feeling movement down into the legs as you breathe deeply. Let your legs be heavy. Feel your pelvis releasing down heavy into your mat. And even releasing your spine. You might think of letting the spine kind of soften into the body. Let your breath be deep and slow. The jaw is relaxed, the face is relaxed. And breathing out whatever keeps you from standing in your self-worth. Claiming that energy, owning it, and living it. Try to relax through your pelvic floor. Take a deep breath in and out. Begin to walk your hands back. Inhale, rise up. Tuck your left toes, lift the knee, stretch yourself back through your down dog. Again, if you want to move through one more vinyasa, feel free to do that. Maybe pedal out your feet a little bit. And then making your way onto your backs. Roll down onto your backs. Give yourself a little hug. Hug the knees into the chest. Rock a little side to side. And then take your arms out in line with your shoulders. Drop your knees over to the right. Gaze towards the left. Deep breath in and out. Inhale, lift your knees up through center. And exhale, take them over to the left. Gaze towards the right, deep breath in and out. Inhale, lift your knees up through center. Hug your thighs to your belly one last time. And then take your legs out for your full Shavasana. Make yourself comfy. Your arms can rest out alongside your body, or you can just let your hands come to rest over your belly. Close your eyes. Feel the breath flowing in and out, and just let your body surrender. Let the earth have your back, and rest into that support. Feel your bones sinking down into the floor. Let your muscles soften. Feel the softness of your breath flowing in and out. If you have more space and time in your day to keep resting, please feel free to keep resting. And if you're ready to transition here, begin to wake up your body. Stretch through the fingers and toes, maybe circling out your wrist, your ankles. Take a deep breath in through the nose, side out through an open mouth. Good. And then making your way off to one side and slowly rising up. Coming all the way back to sit on your mat. Take a comfortable seat here. Let your eyes come to close, and let's bring the hands once again over the heart space. Little drop of the chin, and see if you can just soften your chest beneath your hands. And then from this quiet, centered, grounded place, try this on, this statement. I am worthy of love. Now I want you to say it again and feel it in your body. So speak it to your body
and see if your body receives it. See if your body absorbs it. I am worthy of love. I want you to claim those words for yourself and own them. I am worthy of love. Feel free to use that like a mantra throughout the day today. One last deep breath in and out. Thank you so much for taking this time today to drop in with me and to start this 7-day Love Thyself journey with me. I so appreciate it, and I know that you deserve it. So thank you again. And please be sure to subscribe to my channel, give this video a thumbs up, and leave me a comment and let me know how the practice went for you today. And if you feel like sharing your healing intention for this journey, please do so in the comments. Sometimes writing words down, speaking them out loud, sharing them with others, letting others see it can bring power to it, positive power to it. So do that if you feel inclined, if you feel inspired to. Thank you so much again for joining me. Have a beautiful, beautiful rest of your day. Namaste.